The Stellasaura devs have finally addressed player concerns. Or have they? They definitely made a tweet addressing the fact that the concerns exist, but many players have been calling them out as this kind of seems for a lot of people like a big nothing burger. We'll go ahead and we'll read through the entire thing and give our thoughts and opinions in just a moment, but beyond this, I wanted to talk about something else related to Stellasaura that directly affects me and other content creators, and that is that I've had my sponsored videos botted. And not through YouTube advertising, in a way that is so much worse and more damaging. Now, as much as I'm sure you're all really eager to hear what happened, if you have not already, consider joining the Gacha Hub. This is one of the biggest, fastest growing gacha communities on Twitter. We've gone up several hundred members over the course of the last 48 hours. But let's go ahead here and take a look specifically at their address to players. An open letter. Dear Tyrant, since the launch of Stellasaura, the enthusiasm from all of you has truly overwhelmed us, and it genuinely has. Players love this game. The game, not the rates, not how it's being handled. They love the game. And I myself, and I will stress this time and time again, you can go back through every video I've done for this or in anticipation of this. I've said the game is good, the game is fun. It's just the monetization, the predatory monetization, the gacha rates, and the 180 they did before releasing the game, that is the issue. The 180, of course, that not only I myself have bore witness to, but other content creators that also did sponsored content, like Brax here, signed the sponsor with Stellasaura during the beta for the game before all the launch changes. But you know what, we've covered that. That's another topic for another video. As of today, over 3 million players worldwide have ventured into the Nova continent, and we're grateful for every step you've taken on this journey with us. We have been following the feedback and suggestions you shared closely. Now, I will point out here, the feedback that the entire community has presented them with has been, I think, unanimous. It has been echoed throughout all of social media, and that is that the monetization is terrible. It's incredibly predatory. It's incredibly unfree-to-play friendly. It favors whales. We don't have much actual gem or currency acquisition. There's nothing really to earn gems. There's nothing really to earn pulls. And when it costs 3,000 premium currency for a single 10 pull and $100 top-up nets you with 20-something, 25 to 28 pulls total. Yeah, when you went back to beta and it was 1,500, not 3K for a 10 pull. That was acceptable. But again, another topic for another video. As the first game independently developed and released by YoStar, which this is where I give them a little bit of leniency here. I understand you make mistakes. That is why you address them. That is why you revert the changes, and players will be happy. We are fully aware that you have greater expectations for the game. We do, and that the experience is not where it needs to be. It is not. There is still much work to be done. There very much so is. If you want the game to have any kind of lasting success, then these changes need to be implemented as soon as possible. We kindly ask for your patience as we continue to refine the experience. Moving forward, we commit to delivering consistent, high-quality content to all of you. We truly appreciate all your understanding and support. To express our gratitude, we prepared a gift. The gift is a 10 limited pull, which I appreciate. Everyone appreciates. But at the end of the day, what this tweet did was confirmed that they are aware players are very upset, and I gave them the benefit of the doubt here. I was very lenient in my sab. I made a tweet. It's gone on to get 360 likes. I said it's a great first step, but right now it is all just talk. And that is because it is. What they said was, we heard you, but they did not state they are making any changes that players wanted. They stated verbatim, we're going to continue to refine the experience. That is it. That is not a confirmation that changes to the gacha, changes to the rates, changes to the monetization are going to be made. They're just going to refine things. And players were very quick to call them out for this, saying things like, we won't change the gacha rates. Nice sugarcoat wording there. Can we get more stuff since this game's going to EOS in a month? They had 5 days to already make direct plans for changes. It takes them this long to bribe players without actually admitting what they did wrong and what they were planning to do to fix it. So players are, again, very quick to call them out on this. And that is deserved because this is just a bunch of corporate talk right now. And I stated that players deserve to be treated with respect, rewarded, and appreciated for their support of the game. If they own up to what they've done, if they own up to their shortcomings, if they revert the changes, or at the very least make sufficient changes to the issues that players have, it might be enough. But right now, this is all talk with no real plan of action in sight because they have not admitted to having any plan to change anything. Just that we know you guys are upset, and we're definitely doing some stuff. That's what they said, and that is not enough for a lot of people. I think it's great, and as I stated, a great first step. Addressing the issues is a fantastic first step and a sign that you are aware of what is going on, the discontent in your community, but it's what you do to act on that. That is more important. I stated I'm not one to shit talk a company trying to do better and improve their game. So kudos to Yostar for finally addressing things. Hopefully they make the changes that players want and need. That's because I genuinely hope that they do. I hope a few days from now, a week from now, I get to do a video that's titled Stella Sora, Devs Listened, with a plethora of different changes to the game that players are enamored with because they are just so happy that the devs listened and they implemented the changes that the game needed to really truly succeed. That is what I'm hoping. And then I can play it alongside Chaos Zero Nightmare and it'll be great. But until then, right now, this is a big, hey, we're aware you guys are having issues with a lot of the game, but, you know, for the time being, things are happening, and just thanks. Now on to the other topic of today's video. This is completely disregarding anything that Stellasaura have done with their game. On the contrary, I've done multiple different Stellasaura videos over the course of the last week. I have this one here, 24,000 views. I have this one here, 18,000 views. I have this one here, the tier list I did, 74,000 views. This one over here, the beginner's guide, 25,000 views. And then this one right here, 30,000 views. Now I'm gonna go through these videos and show you, give you a lot of insight into where the traffic sources come from. So here is my Stellasaura is in trouble video, 24,000 views. And when you look at the reach, it tells you almost 60% came from the browse features. That is what appears, I believe, on the side of your screen over here. They see a recommended, a related video, and they go ahead and click it. That is the browse feature. YouTube search, this is for people that were searching up specifically Stellasaura. Suggested videos, channel pages, those are all relatively insignificant because they only factor into a few percent total of your respective views. Actually, it notes here that the browse features are traffic from the home page, the home screen, the subscription feed, and other browsing features. So like all encompassing, essentially. Here is the addressing Stellasaura's gotcha rate video I did. It has almost 20,000 views. You look at the traffic sources, browse features, YouTube search, suggested videos, all roughly 20-ish% each. Here's a video I did for the tier list, 74,000 views, still getting a bunch of views. Is gonna be at roughly 80,000 views, probably in the next few days. You look at the reach, where'd it come from? 53% YouTube search. You look at the beginner's guide I did, 25,000 views. You go ahead and look at the stats for referral traffic, and you see browse features 33%, external 20% only, channel pages 14%, suggested videos 10%. For the most part, the vast majority of these get a lot of views from browse and through the YouTube search. Yo, I don't mean to interrupt the video, but I need to take a moment here to thank all my incredible patrons over on Patreon whose support continues to allow for me to do regular videos like this every single day on this channel. Thank y'all so much, including our YouTube channel members. You guys mean the world to me. So do you guys as viewers as well. Now, without further ado, let's continue. I decided here I was gonna take a look at videos that were unrelated to Stella Sora specifically, as to provide you a larger selection of games, so we're not just looking at one singular one. Here is a video I did on Fellowship, 30,000 views. You look at the reach, YouTube search, 70%, browse features, 10%, external, 8%. Here is a video for Blue Protocol Star Resonance, almost 40,000 views. You go ahead and look at the reach, almost 40% browse, almost 40% YouTube search, and suggested at 4%. Let's take a look at the Ion 2 video I did. 34,000 views, traffic browse, 72%, notification 6%, channel pages 5%. Now, I want to show you a couple other videos, 2 videos in specific here. This has happened a few times, but I'm only going to show you 2. This one in specific. Now, I want you to take a look at the overview for a lot of these videos, right? It's an arch. It gets progressively higher and continues to get progressively higher over time. A very slow but steady projected growth. That is the same for every single video. I mean, Gotcha Smack did a video recently on this as well, where he was going over some of the recent Wuthering Waves videos that were botted, but this is the same trend for every single video. Now, some spike a little higher in the first several hours. It'll be like 20,000 and then slowly climb. Some will be like 30 or 40,000 and slowly climb. But if there is one thing that is completely recurring in all of these videos, it is that it is a gradual incline. And then you look at this. What do you think of that? A sponsored Honkai Star Rail video from Hoyoverse. What do you think of that? Then you look at the revenue for these, right? 24,000. Well, that one was just posted today. 18,000, $65. 74,000, $150. 25,000, $70. 30,000, $85. 37,000, $102. 92,000, $11. Not only did this video get 3K views and then boop, 88,000 just straight up, and then that was it. It got 2K views over the course of the next year, 500 days. And then you look at the referral traffic here and look at this number right here, 91.6% from YouTube advertising. YouTube advertising. See, that is how you know that your video was botted, right? And that is fine. That is fine. I don't understand the reason for artificially inflating views through botting, but here's another one. This one got 7 million views, $500, 99.6% from YouTube advertising, 99.6. And then you go ahead here and look at this 7 million views, right? Day one was what, 6K views, slow, gradual growth, 8, 10, 11, 20, 130, 212. And it's like, Now again, I don't know why they would do this. I genuinely have no idea why they do this other than to make their game look more popular, or in some instances to use it for YouTube advertising, to advertise the video to attempt to get more viewers to their game, right? Do YouTube advertising specifically, it makes sense. That I can understand. From that perspective, it makes total sense. But that's if they're using YouTube advertising, which is where I have been leading to over the course of the last several minutes. Let's go ahead here and take a look at this sponsored video. Let's open up the analytics. 30,000 views, right? Okay, no. First day, 7K, not bad. Day 2, 8K, not bad. Day 6, 9K, not bad. And then 21,000. No real new views for the next couple days. And then all the way up to 30,000. And then you look over here on the side, external traffic, 98%. Navigating on over to the reach, browse feature, 16%. That's awfully low, given browse normally makes up 40 to 60% of every video. Channel pages 6, no search traffic, no other traffic whatsoever. Almost all of it was external, from websites and apps that embed your videos or link to your videos on YouTube. Now, hear me out. I'm not gonna blame the Star here as a studio, because before I posted this video, they asked me and they said, hey Stix, would it be okay after you publish it if we were to utilize YouTube advertising for your video to include it in an ad? And I said, yeah, dude, go for it. Once I post a video, it's completely up to you. And that was it. And several days later, evidently, they chose not to use YouTube advertising, because I would have been fine with that. What they instead chose to use was an external site. They decided to bot this, not with real views. And this is my issue. They could have used real views from YouTube advertising, but they didn't. They used low quality botted views from probably from a, I don't know, a click farm, a bot farm from Fiverr or some cheap ass website where the quality of the view is like a cent per 1,000 or a cent per 100. This is actually damaging to the video because after, as you can see, you look at the video, the views here, they were getting steady views, right? Hundreds of views per day. We went from, what was it, 6,900 to day 2. We went to almost 8,000. Day 3, we went to almost 9,000, then to almost 10,000. And then as soon as they buy the ads, as soon as they buy the fake botted views, we gained 100 views in several days. And that is because the retention tanked, plummeted, and any organic growth the video may have had or accumulated or obtained is now null and void, dead, completely gone. That's it. They killed the video. They killed any chance this video would have had to artificially inflate the views. For what purpose? Genuinely, for what purpose? It makes absolutely no sense. And then you look at this, the majority of people came from India. Yep, India. Now, that's very unusual for me because my audience is predominantly from the US. We get some people from Philippines, India, Canada, Germany, but for the most part, it's about 30 to 50% US for every video, except for this one at 50.7%. Now, again, I would have been fine if they used YouTube advertising, but this right here, these views probably lasted a second. That's it. A freaking second. The watch time for the video with all those new views barely budged. Look at this, 296, 380, 90, 400, it was getting a lot of views until they started botting it, and that was it. Again, they killed their own video, and they did damage to my video, and it's just absurd, genuinely ridiculous. This is what they decided to waste their money on, not real organic views being pushed to the video to try and convert players to playing it. Now, on the contrary, they decided to fake views to make the video look better, make it make sense. This situation is just unbelievable, and it's just gotten out of hand. I can't believe it. I know you think that you just hit the end of the video, and technically, yeah, you have. And I know your first reaction is to close out of it at this juncture, but don't. No, instead, I urge you to take a moment here and click one of the videos on screen that are coming up in just a moment so you remain up to date with everything going on in the gacha genre. Trust me, you're not going to regret doing so. Stay flaccid.